Today's show is all about what would a world look like without any negativity? How can we lead a life with more positivity and surrounding ourselves with calm people, positive people? We're going to talk with a friend of mine that I've known for decades. He is the owner and the mastermind behind the Healing Arts Center. Tom Tessereau will be my guest coming up in about 10 minutes. We'll talk about the benefits of leading that positive life, what it looks like to incorporate Reiki and healing energy modalities, massage, what's biocranial therapy, lymphatic drainage, those sound bowls that maybe you've seen before, all those levels of natural healing, functional medicine, holistic life, homeopathic life, all of that. I know a lot of you that watch this show are very into that type of a lifestyle. Well, today's show is definitely for you. And if you're just tuning in and you know anybody else that's been wanting to be introduced to this, well, right now, do me a favor and share and like and follow our live stream on both Facebook and on YouTube, going to about 30,000 people right now and continuing to grow. Thank you so much for all of you that are helping to do just that. If you're feeling a little down today, I'm hoping that the next 50 minutes will uplift your spirits. The man that is going to be in the blue chair will do just that for you. A longtime friend of mine, Tom Tessereau from the Healing Arts Center, is my guest when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Good morning, and are you ready for positivity? This man I've known, I don't even know, decades, I'm going to tell you. Tom Tessereau is my guest from the Healing Arts Center. First of all, let me welcome you, and I'm so happy that you're finally here. Good morning, my friend.
Thank you, Monica. Wow, the power of what you're doing here is so evident.
Well, you and I have known each other for a long time. Do you remember how we met? Was it when I had my Camo X show?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask.
I know I had you on Camo X, but I don't think I knew you when I had my show on WIL.
I think you had a friend who brought you some gift from the Healing Arts Center, a salt bath or something.
Probably.
And you had a friend maybe who had died or something, and your friend was going to the Healing Arts Center at that time, and I think maybe that's how we met, but I don't remember.
Well, it's been years, and I've just, every time I am around him, and I'm thinking that you're going to feel the same energy, I just sit there and go, this is like the closest I can feel to God. There's something about you. I know I'm putting a lot of pressure on you, but there is. You just have this beautiful way of drawing people in to the life that we're hoping that they get from this show and from what you do on a daily basis. Positivity. So I don't think I've ever asked you this before, but why do you think that you've been drawn to this life? Is it from an introduction from parents or somebody when you were growing up? Have you always been this way?
I think more as a response to negativity is I started looking for that and actually got into the healing work to help my father. So I saw my father who was suffering with pain, physical pain, most of his life that I had known him. And I didn't realize that behind that, I found out later that some of that was emotional pain. And so when I found something that helped me, just naturally, like you, I wanted to share it with as many people as I could. I had no idea that it would be this beautiful and for the rest of my life. Actually, this is what I'm doing. This is my life. So
I'm so glad I asked that. I never knew that aspect. But yes, that's the thing. You know, I always tell people, share this show with those that you know are seeking out positivity. But I also say for those that are very, very toxic and drama is around them, I want you to share it with them as well, because they need this. And maybe they have an aversion to it. Maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes they watch the show and they're like, I'm not ready. But it's okay that they're not ready.
Sure.
Right? You're
planting a lot of seeds, actually, that don't always harvest at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Healing Arts Center, when did you start that?
Well, actually, did you know Carol Madsen? She was the founder of the Healing Arts Center. She left and went to the island of Kauai to open another bodywork school. But so Carol Madsen was a lovely massage therapist. She was a professional dancer. She was had a degree in psychology. She started the Healing Arts Center in the late 80s.
In the 80s,
yeah,
okay.
Right.
And then when she moved, you took it over?
She said, Tom, I want you to have the Healing Arts Center as like my baby. She had just started it. It was a little tiny thing. You know, the massage profession was not anything near what it is now. It's everywhere now. So she asked me to take over. And at first I said no.
Really?
And you mentioned God, so I prayed about it. And the answer was that it was about community. And so that's where we are now. We've probably influenced most of the natural health wellness community in St. Louis, whether you go into yoga or the sound healing things are really popular now. Anywhere that you would go, you can, if you mention the Healing Arts Center, people know about it. And so there's been a lot of good people that have done a lot of good work.
Yes.
And it's certainly not just one person. I'd like to say thank you to my wife, Sabrina, and my children. They're the biggest supporters. We have a wonderful staff now. And but the Healing Arts Center has influenced many, many people. And I can hardly believe it myself. It's such a blessing.
So what year was that you took it over?
In the early 90s.
Early 90s?
95, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, and for people who maybe still don't know about the Healing Arts Center, tell them where you're located. And this could be a possibility. There are so many people that are seeking out a guidance. And that's what I started life coach. Well, years ago, I started life coaching before life coaching really had a name. But then I've really started doing it, as you have as well, in the last probably 5 to 7 years. And there are a lot of people that have come to me that have said, I've been doing this for so long and I can continue to do it, but it's not really fulfilling for me. And there's something bigger that I feel like I'm being drawn to. So maybe for those of you that would like to change careers, or maybe you do what you're doing and you kind of dabble into this a little bit, because you probably have people that do both. They don't.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, right. So it's not maybe a full-blown jump yet or a leap just yet. But tell them where you're located.
So we're in Warson Woods near Savington and Manchester. And we've been there there's our address. And the Healing Arts Center is a massage therapy training program. And but we know being a massage therapist is not for everyone. But getting massages, I think, is really for everyone.
Yes.
So however it is that we're drawn to natural healing and through massage therapy or the other healing arts that we teach, we support people in doing that for their their health and well-being, for sure.
So people that come and they are going through the school to become a massage therapist, or different levels of other things that we'll talk about as well, other healing modalities, they are working on, is it kind of like I think about people that are going to like a hairstylist school, etc. People will come that will go and get their hair cut as they are learning. Is that the same type of thing, that you come in and get massages from the students?
Well, there's a student clinic. Everybody should know about that.
Yes, we need
it's
to.
the best massage and cheapest massage in town.
Okay.
So that is one part of what we do, for sure.
Yes.
And I think you probably were going to put up something about the free cancer clinic. One of the things we're most happy about is that people who are actively going through cancer treatment can come and get free like a adapted oncology massage with some energy work and such, and it's just so beautiful. It's one of the sweetest things we do, and it's just completely free. All they need to do is get a referral from their doctor, and they can come and see us. We all know somebody that has cancer, or we will, and to have that as a resource is one of the things we're most proud of and most happy about.
Absolutely, and you're seeing it there on the screen, because I think there's a lot of people that are going through cancer treatments and thinking, oh, is it going to hurt? I'm in pain already, and you're doing this all to take care of them, to try to remove the pain from their body.
Yeah, and during the pandemic, or after the pandemic, when we started coming back into the clinics, we thought that maybe the cancer clients would return last because of their compromised immunity. They were some of the first. They said, I need to come back. Some of them said that actually their cancer markers actually were changing without that treatment, and or certainly their stress levels. And so we invited them back in safely, of course, but it was quite a testament to that free cancer clinic.
I love that. Again, a free cancer clinic, and then there's also, we showed you on the screen before, the massage therapy clinic for those of you. So if they want to come in and get massages, how much are the massages? for the student one?
You're going to ask me about money. So I think the massages are $35.
Oh, that's very inexpensive.
Yeah.
And again, learning from this man, I mean, come on, you're going to have incredible massages, guaranteed.
Thank
For
you.
those, and I've mentioned this on the show before, for those who have never gotten a massage, I don't know why, but you do, because you've probably heard it of people saying, I don't know. A lot of times they're uncomfortable in their own skin, right? They don't want to lay down on the table with a person that they say is
Sure.
a stranger. What do you hear from people who are apprehensive to get a massage?
Well, there's a lot of ways it can be adapted or adopted to their needs. And actually, the students do that as well. One of the first things the students go through is, the discomfort of, their own body image, or of people seeing or touching them, or seeing and touching others. It's something that we just help them get through. And once they get to the experience of having someone who obviously cares about them, who has a lot of skill and knowledge about human bodies, they seem to be able to do it. It's just an amazing thing.
And what do you think? Well, let's say this. When someone's having a massage and they're just getting the relaxation aspect of it, not just, they're getting the relaxation aspect of it, or it's removing some of the tension. What happens in the next level when people say, I started crying, I got really emotional? And they've asked before on the show, why is that happening to me? Why am I getting emotional? And why am I crying?
It is such an interesting phenomenon. So there's the story that makes it onto social media sometimes about if somebody's walking around, or if you're walking around with a cup of coffee, somebody bumps into you, spill coffee. You don't spill milk or orange juice, but if you're carrying milk, you spill milk. So when we start being touched in a way that feels like it's really embracing us at a deeper level, one of the things that happens is something spills out of that cup. So getting a massage doesn't make us sad, doesn't make us cry. Actually, we probably have suppressed grief or sadness. I mean, just think about what we went through with the pandemic. We just talked about this in the class last night, how much we did suppress our feelings, and grief is one of those things. We lost a lot during the pandemic, not only to mention all of the other things that we lose in life, all the pets that we've lost and the family members and so forth, but the loss of our freedom and such. So people suppressed a lot of the grief from that, and so it just makes sense that when we're safe, that's the big part of it, when we trust the person that we're with, then that can come out of that cup. We're carrying it around. And it takes a lot of, we could say, life force or life energy to carry those suppressed emotions and things in our body. So when that comes out, we know that in physics, the statement is that nature fills the vacuum. So when we let that grief out, we let that sadness out, or we just, whatever it is that comes out, then it's filled with something else. And usually it's just so beautiful.
It is. And never be, people will always apologize. I'm so sorry. And I was like, never apologize for an emotion, right?
Yeah.
Let it out. It's a really cathartic experience. If you're just tuning in, this is my friend Tom Tessereau, the Healing Arts Center. What are you most proud of that you've been able to do for many, many years now, seeing students come in, go through your program, graduate, go out and continue to pay it forward in the healing aspect?
I would say that I'm most proud of the inclusivity of the Healing Arts Center. You can walk into a class and there's people of, all the ways that identity politics, say that we're so different. I hope it's okay to say that.
Yes.
It's a big thing. There's a lot of pressure on us to think about how different we are, but actually the different ages, all the ways that we're different, you'll find them in the class. And so we're being told, it seems like outside of us, that we're not the same and we can't get along, and yet right there in the classroom there is that deep level of inclusivity and all of the things that we would wish that we could have.
And look at that. Look at the smile on your face when they all get those diplomas, right? And they're getting ready to go out into the world. What do you hear from them? That receiving message back of all these beautiful faces and all these beautiful souls, knowing that they're going out to be able to do what you've taught them.
Well, there's been thousands of them, and so we don't have contact with all of them. And a lot of them have actually taken the knowledge that they learn at the Healing Arts Center, because we're more than a massage school, really. And so we delve into many different ways of self-discovery and positivity, as you've mentioned. So a lot of them go off into other professions, but we hear from them it just seems like I hear from them just at the right time. Like I'm having a hard day or somebody's, giving us trouble about something, and then a message will come through Facebook and it'll say, just been thinking about, it's been 25 years since I graduated from the Healing Arts Center, and I just love what I've learned, and I'm still using, the processes and the techniques and the procedures.
Again, this could be for you, right? And then when you hear things like this, I always love when I get chills, because to me, I've always believed that that's guiding from above, and it's like tapping to say, you agree with that?
Is that what this is?
Yes. Yes. Monica, yes, keep going with that. That's what they need to hear. And I go, oh, okay, let's keep going with this.
Right.
We're going to take a quick break. We've got so much more to talk about of what a world would look like with more and more of this positivity, because again, yes, we're not saying that there's not negative things going on in our world. There are, but what can we do? What can we spread more of? Again, if you don't think that one person can change the world, just think about the many levels of people who have gone before us, and we think that we're still talking about them and how they paid it forward, and we're hoping to learn from them. This is exactly what he's doing. This is exactly what I'm doing. We want more and more people in these chairs that share that kind of positivity. I'll look at your comments. If you have any questions, by the way, for Tom or myself, drop them into the comments again on Facebook and on YouTube right now. And thank you so much for sharing the love of positivity. We'll have more with Tom when we return. And if you are looking for something to truly just make you glow like I was glowing last week, I want you to go and see my friends at Elemental Aesthetics. They're located off North New Ballas, that 425 building. Again, so many levels of things that they can do for you there. I went in and had a facial that had to do with more oxygen as well as dermaplaning. And I tell you all the time that your makeup never will look as good as it does until you have dermaplaning done. It truly is just beautiful. One of the things that Jennifer Warman-Bloss prides herself on is having the top of the top when it comes to different lasers, different types of therapies and things that she can do, not just with your face, but they also do weight loss, whether it's medical grade or non-medical in the consultation. And right there are the chairs for IV hydration therapy. I can't wait to go in again. And I've already been told by some of you that you've made your appointments, which I love. Again, support those that support us.
What HAC is really about is compassionate touch in that order, meaning compassion first, and touch is the vehicle to convey that compassion.
Students come here thinking that they're going to learn a physical modality, something that they do. And a lot more of our learning process here is about being.
This is a consciousness school disguised as a massage school. Every single student that makes it through our program has a deep personal transformation.
I feel like I've changed as a human being, as a healer, more compassionate individual, and it's really a school of self-transformation.
It's the best experience that you'll ever have in your life. The way they make you feel inside, words can describe it.
Yeah, I can look in the mirror now. And, I love the being that looks back at me, because I know that I have a positive effect on the world now.
We both just said it. Every time I have seen that, and I played that by the, oh my gosh, from head to toe, I'm freezing cold. When I first saw that, Tom, and I had Tom on my life coaching class that I used to hold on Thursday nights years back, and we played that video, and just so many emotions came over every one of us. You obviously are behind that video, and you still get chills with that. That right there, that speaks volumes. What does that mean to you from what he just said?
Well, first of all, I know these people personally, and I got to watch them go through their transformational journey. So it still touches my heart. I still have so much love for these people, and it feels like I can still be connected to them.
Yes, I mean,
through that video. So.
Him being overcome with emotions. But I always say that when I see that movement from just running around, talking, laughing, and then you get moved to the emotion of tears that just overcome you, it's like, let it go and just keep speaking. Keep letting that, whatever the emotions are. And again, when we see tears, it's not always a bad thing, even though people think, oh, I'm crying, I got to apologize. I always say that. Don't apologize for an emotion. Before we look at some comments and continue on with our talk, He told me I could say this. Look at him. He said he's 70 years old. You glow. I mean, look at his skin. What do you do for your skin? It's all those salts.
Saunas,
Yes.
ice baths, salt baths. Yes, it is salt. Salt is medicine, really, if we use it like that. You know, it's exercise, it's breathing, it's all those things.
It's good, clean
Yeah,
living.
and I'm going to glow when I'm with you because it's so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
he asked if there's something that he could say, and I said, of course you can. What do you want to say to me?
I just said I love you, Monica.
love you as
And we've
well.
always said that to each other, but it's usually been privately because, you know, not everybody would understand, you know, that that's that all-encompassing
Yes.
love, and
Yes.
it's bigger than love songs and things like that. It's
Absolutely.
just a kinship and a friendship and all that. So
The love between two human beings. Well, you know, the end of my show, I always say we just need to spread more kindness. And if we are kind to each other, even if it's a simple compliment of, oh my gosh, Tom, you look amazing, right? You look great in that color. It brings out your eyes, your skin glows. How does that make people feel as opposed to tearing people down? And we know there's a lot of bullying in this world, unfortunately. But, you know, the title of today's show, I said, what would life look like if it was less and less negative and we had more positivity? Some people, and again, we're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. There are people who will come to your page, come to your school, come to my page, watch this show and go, whatever. That's fake. It's not. I mean, we named it The Real Monica Adams because I want us to be more real in life. But what do you want to say to those people who aren't just ready yet?
I would say it's okay. It's one of the most powerful messages I think we can give to people. My teacher, Master Choa Koksui, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, who influenced me the most of all the teachers that I've gone around the world and learned with. He was such a beautiful, powerful person. I never really saw him make a mistake. He helped so many people. But when I would make mistakes, he would just say to me, Tom, it's okay. And I don't know that we always got those messages. I don't remember particularly getting that as much as I love my father. But him saying, Tom, it's okay, it was usually often that it wasn't okay because he wanted me to do better and wanted me to be better. You know, but to have someone like that say to me, Tom, it's okay, it just went right through me, you know. And so I think that's one thing people need to know is that it's okay. And where we are at this particular moment is not where we'll always be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. There's always forward movement and giving yourself permission to fail and pick yourself back up and say, okay, well, that didn't work. Don't call it failure, though. It's just a learning curve,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, and one of the things that I like to think about is that a lot of the stuff that we've done for many years is now being accepted. And so sometimes people would act like, you know, that's just that hippie BS, isn't it? And so my new definition of hippie BS is its hippie belief system.
I like that. Hippie belief system, everyone. Go, yes. Take that forward. I think I saw some people that graduated from your school. Someone, they say, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, beautiful morning to you. Miss you, Tom. Hugs from your former student, Erin Teresa.
Oh, wow.
Tom. Oh, Michelle just said Tom smells amazing. That's true. You always do every time I give you a hug. OMG Tom. He was my massage teacher. I love Tom. Hi, my friend. This is from Jana. She said, yes, try getting a massage from him. Yes, he has such a presence about him. Hugs, looking good, my friend. That's Jana. She's actually been on our show, LB.
Oh,
do you
wow.
remember Jana?
No, of course.
Yes.
I remember everybody. It
Graduated
seems
in
like.
1997, and you've had thousands, and I love that about you. Again, because he's touched so many lives. Former student here, Shana Glore.
Oh, yeah.
Love
Recent.
Tom, Sabrina, and the Healing Arts Center. Tom and Monica, you are beacons of light. I thought that was a beautiful comment. I saw that really quick as I was scrolling through. And again, I'm going to try to get to as many of you as I can. Jody Rodriguez says Tom is amazing.
Oh, sweet.
Sitting there, two people who have made a huge impact in my life. That's Jana again. Thank you, Tom and Monica. Like attracts like. I like that. Very true. But you know, and Kayla Marie says, so good to hear your voice, Tom. It's also the fact that there are a lot of people who, as we mentioned, aren't ready for it just yet, but we attract them as well because they're intrigued. Right? It's this is what I want more of in my life, but I don't think I deserve it. What do you want to say to those people who think they're not deserving?
Well, when I walked in here just a while ago, I said, your producer, I'm not worthy. Because we all have some level of that. I get to come in here and be with you and speak to your audience and all that. There's a certain level of, am I really worthy of this? So
The answer is yes.
yeah, okay, good.
It is absolutely yes. Oh, I like this. Back in the late 90s, I myself went to Healing Arts Center and massage therapy in South City off of Virginia Avenue. I completed the 200 required hours to graduate. I still need to complete 300 more to work in a clinic. With the 200-hour certificate, I was able to travel to homes to provide relaxation massage. I also started doing chair massage at my mom's hair salon. I've known her for a while, didn't know that about you. So maybe you're being drawn to Tom to continue that and be able to get more of that. My friend graduated from the Healing Arts Center. Again, a lot of people that are watching this morning. Warren Rapp said, "Hey there, Tom." Is that a good friend of yours?
Yeah,
I love
need
that.
to reconnect, yes.
I love this. Healing Arts Center taught me healing practices that helped me through a traumatic accident. This is from Aaron Teresa, and the recovery. I graduated in 18. I haven't practiced massage since my accident, but I use the tools of all the modalities. Teaching healing is a gift. Thank you to Tom. It's all the love that he receives. Great energy keeps him young, and his good heart keeps his glow. Let's see. Sending love from the family. Is that Micah? M-I-E-K-E?
Yes.
Micah?
Oh, yeah, she just recently had a baby. Yeah.
Julie just said, wow, 70? That's amazing. I know. Look at him. Failing is part of learning. This is from Richard. Do you have to fail to learn? That's a question from him. Do you have to fail to learn?
It's one of the ways that we learn, for sure. And so, as you mentioned a while ago, rather than seeing it as we've done something wrong or we're not good enough because we failed, yes. I don't think we have to fail continuously, but yet when it does happen, it is an opportunity to kind of retool and figure things out. Yes, sure.
So Mike again said, we plant the seeds and sometimes see them grow. Yes. Good morning. Most massage therapists that I've hired in the past came from Tom's class. The best. I love this. So let's talk about some of the other modalities you have here. And we've been talking about massage, but for those who are not familiar with Reiki, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Reiki is actually being accepted now. There's been some studies done where there was a group of nurses who did Reiki in cardiac intensive care unit at Stanford, I think it was, and it was published in a medical journal, where just after getting a few minutes of Reiki, the results based on heart rate variability, which you probably know through fitness, were comparable to beta blockers. So Reiki is a beautiful thing. It's it's some of the hippie BS stuff, that people don't quite understand, and yet it's one of the beautiful modalities that we do. Yes.
So I love this, the Reiki principles. You want to read those?
Sure. So the principles, they're so simple that it seems like, well, surely there's something else. Just for today, I will not anger, I will not worry, I will be grateful for all my blessings. I will work with honesty and integrity, and I will be kind to all living things. So when we're angry, we know that takes a lot of our life force. If we have an intense anger over an extended period of time, anger does weaken us. It'll even weaken our immune system, So not angering doesn't mean it's not okay to be angry, but to not hold on to whatever that is, to not worry. Worry is probably something we even do more than being angry. So we worry and worry and worry. And one of the things that we know in the positive thinking world is that most of the things we worry about don't even come to pass. If we look back over what we've even worried about recently, most of that is already resolved, but it does take life force, it does take energy for us to do that. And so the more we can reduce our anger, reduce our worry, or figure a good way, to balance that. And then to be grateful. So more and more research is being shown through, neurosciences and energy sciences and such, that gratitude is the emotion. It's even possibly greater than love. The way that I explain it is we can have a deep love. We mentioned love a while ago. And yet when we're even grateful for that love, that even seems to enhance or expand that love. Gratitude seems to be the highest and greatest emotion. So anytime that I find that people are having difficulty, or for myself, I'm wondering, am I being really grateful enough for all of the things? And all we have to do is return back to gratitude. So these are simple principles that came from the founder of Reiki. And to be kind to others, of course. That's in every religion. It's in every great philosophy. Yeah.
It's one of the most simplest things, yet people make it so difficult. It's so easy to just share a word or a sentence or a touch of kindness and watch just how far that goes. You mentioned in the very beginning, when I first introduced you, about, I think that's exactly, I think you're right, of how we met, the salt aspect, the scrubs and things that people use, and they think, is that really helping me? Yours are blessed. Are they still blessed?
Well, I like to tell the students when I introduce them to salt baths, because it's a really simple, very reasonably priced, and salt is cheap, way that they can work with their own health and well-being. And of course, all the students on there are probably remembering, oh, I haven't had a salt bath in a while, But you had me on Camo X, my mom's listening, and others, and you said, so Tom, I had an out-of-body experience with that salt bath. Do you remember telling me that?
I do. I did.
And I just thought, okay, this is weird, but in a good way.
Yes. Well, I really did, because I thought, what is in this salt? It wasn't just regular salt. There was something about the salt, and you said the salt's blessed.
Yeah.
It really did. There's something obviously very soothing about taking a salt bath. Well, it's just baths in general. How many of you haven't had a bath in a long time and you just take showers because you're in that quick aspect, the immediate aspect that we got to get in and out? I love a bath. Just to sit and immerse yourself in the warmth of it, the healing aspect of salt, and just taking time for yourself, which in a world of busy, we don't do.
Sure.
So having a 15, 20, 30-minute relaxation. But I did. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember saying, I don't know what happened in that water.
And it's sodium chloride, just for your listeners, because, Epsom salts, a lot of people use Epsom salts, which are very medicinal as well. But sodium chloride, actually, the ionic nature and the energetic nature of salt, the crystallization and so forth, it purifies us. We know that we put meat, for example, my ancestors had a smokehouse, and they, so they cured their meats, and they put meat into salt brine because the salt killed the bacteria. It does the same thing for us, not necessarily bacteria, but it takes care of we could say stress energy or negative energy. It just eats it up. It just pulls it right off of our physical body and out of our energy body. We have an energy body, and that's one of the things that most people would most benefit from knowing, that we're not just a physical body, that we also have an energy field, and that's just good science. That's not just hippie BS. There's a group, an organization called the Heart Math Institute, heart, like where we are right now, and math as in mathematics, that have looked at the electromagnetic field of the heart. And the heart emanates the largest electromagnetic field from the body. And they even published a medical journal in a medical journal about this. And so, hippies, again, used to talk about the aura, and the energy field and all that. Well, it's real, it's an electromagnetic field. And when they were measuring that with instruments, they found that when somebody would get into a state of gratitude, intentionally as part of the experiment, that's when their electromagnetic field, or the aura, or the energy of their heart, expanded the most, was gratitude. So no wonder that the founder of a beautiful energy medicine like Reiki would put that into the principles. Just being grateful gets us back into that space.
And I know for some of you, maybe you've been never introduced to this, any aspect of what we're talking about, but I want you to open your mind to it. Can you open your heart to it, your thought process of it, of, okay, well, it's not going to hurt you. It is going to heal you, but you got to be open to it. I love the very first time I ever had someone do energy work on me. And again, it's just the healing hands over you. And she said, do you feel it? And I said, yeah, I feel movement. What's happening? And she said, but you're ready. Right? It was a really beautiful thing for her, for two human beings that had never met, to share together of, Monica, you're ready. If you weren't, you wouldn't feel anything. You'd be closed off to this. And I'd be trying to, but we mention a lot in life that we can be our own healers if we believe we can, with the help of wonderful people who do this for a living, as well as doctors. It's all of us working hand in hand and having that collaboration.
Sure. So the things that we teach at the Healing Arts Center would be considered complementary alternative medicine. We felt really proud, we felt happy whenever allopathic medicine started calling us complementary alternative medicine, meaning that that it complements standard medicine, allopathic medicine, or sometimes it's even as an alternative. And we never say that people should only do this and not see their doctors. We all see doctors. I'm going to see a doctor today, in fact. So
I love that you said that, by the way.
that all fits together. And yeah.
Because we have had traditional medicine doctors on here, and I said, don't you think the world would be better if we had a beautiful marriage between what is considered traditional medicine and functional or homeopathic, holistic, alternative methods, just opening our minds? There needs to be more and more and more traditional medicine doctors that say, okay, I see how this is helping.
Sure.
Again, we're stressing, though. We're not saying never go to a doctor.
Absolutely
We're saying
not.
Let that work hand in hand.
Indeed. They really do harmonize and balance each other, yeah. I'm
going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to share an experience that I had with Tom about biocranial therapy. What is that? You also have something come up. Is it a lymphatic release?
There's a lymphatic drainage massage class coming up, yes.
Yes.
Which is really helpful for lymphedema and things that come after surgeries, cancer surgeries particularly, yeah.
Yes. So, and by the way, you can follow them on Facebook so that you can know more about all of these classes and things that are coming up, and a way of maybe you introducing yourself to what is going to serve you a little bit more in your life. So we'll have more with Tom Tessereau when we return. We need women to lift women up.
Let's do that. Being on Monica's show, it was like one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Monica's very real, and she really cares about people.
She's changing lives.
Changing lives.
I think this is just really what people want to see.
Giving back so much to the community, and I really appreciate it.
Today, Monica was extraordinarily real, not only with me, but with her viewers and her listeners.
Made the interview process like talking to a friend.
How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Hey. You're close.
Monica. Whoa.
So go out in this world and be anything you want to be. But before you do that, first, be kind.
I think the difference in our school is the uniqueness of some of the things that we offer here. We're known for the Reiki work, we're known for the energy work, and very few schools offer that.
The Healing Arts Center is one of the most authentic, soulful, heart-centered, medically grounded, rooted communities for training, for facilitators, for practitioners, for massage therapists to do their own work on themselves. That the fact that they integrate energy, quantum self-development, self-transformation, and make it part of their practice. So it's so much beyond words.
I'm freezing cold in here, folks. I'm telling you, I would have to wear a coat if I was around you on a regular basis, a big heavy coat. Tom Tessereau is my guest from the Healing Arts Center, and I'm seeing some questions come in. Crystal actually asked, where'd it go? Tom, do you ever lead any meditation practice for beginners?
I'd have to think about that. I'm involved in so many things. Of course, I'm really immersed in the school. We have approximately 100 students, and so we do lots of meditation in the classes. No, but anybody that needs a resource, I can connect them to something that that we have up online. I can give them some resources. I haven't led any meditation classes because they're so easy to find. I like to get into the things that no one else is quite doing yet and keep kind of leading with that. But
well, and one of the things from watching that video and then seeing the slide here is the importance of breath work. Second Sunday of each month, you can see there from 6 to 8 p.m., monthly breath work sessions. Let's talk about the importance of proper breathing.
Well, it's everything, really. I mean, where do you start? You can start on the philosophical, you can start on the spiritual, you can start on, the scientific piece of it. We breathe 21,000 times a day. It's our greatest source of energy. I like to think about, I know I can say this with you, especially with your audience as well, is that, if you, in a dictionary, if you look up the word inhalation, breathing in, one of the definitions is inspiration. And vice versa, inspiration, inhalation. So, and the root of that is inspire or in spirit. So really, if we go back to even, and almost every culture, every religion has a creation story. So if we think about that, there was a great source of life and spirit and energy, and then it breathed breath into form, and then that became, and so one of the ways I like to think of it is that original breath, that original spark, we could say God, other people have other names for it, that is in us. And all of our ancestors, one of the beautiful things I think about is all of our ancestors have breathed that same breath from that original creation, if that is literal or figurative, either way, I'm open to ideas, is that we're still breathing that same breath that's been passed along to us. And how we breathe is how we live. So we're breathing, many of us are breathing just enough to stay alive and to not pass out. And yet there's all kinds of life and energy and expansion that can come with that. And so breath work is probably one of the most foundational pieces of what we do at the Healing Arts Center. That class that you mentioned has a prerequisite to it.
Okay.
But once somebody does an introduction to breath work, then they can come in and just breathe it up with us.
Breathe it up with us.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody, breathe it up with us. Yes, I can see, as I know you can, when someone is so overcome with grief and anxiety and fear and shame and depression and anger because all of their breathing is so short and shallow, so short and up here, when we're trying to get down here and just have the calmness. If you've been paying attention to both Tom and I, probably barely ever see our shoulders rise. It's just the calmness that you're a part of in life. And I spoke with, as I said, these ladies over the weekend, and I said, just think about the people that you surround yourself with, that you believe are your closest friends and family that lift you up, but are they really? Are they toxic? Are they bullying? Are they talking behind your back? See how you feel around them.
And how we breathe when we're with
Yes.
them is a real telltale sign. So
I can
knowing our
feel
own
it.
breath, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you know what? I'm glad we just said that. What am I talking about, Tom? When I say I can feel it, when I feel someone's energy doesn't work with mine. What does that mean?
One idea would be that that's your nervous system. Our nervous system is always on for survival first. So that's an innate sort of thing that whenever we're in a dangerous situation, our nervous system, our neurology is supposed to give us a signal. Conversely, when we're in a place of love and, feeling good and positivity, then of course our nervous system is going to respond to that as well. Is just a simple way of thinking about that, I think.
And that's the chills.
Yeah.
I go, Tom, why do you always make me so cold? And he said, because I'm
chill.
Tom's like, chill, laxin.
I didn't know you were going to say everything we're saying during the breaks on here, but that's okay.
We're real. This is real.
This is the real
talk.
Monica.
Yes.
Must be the real Tom Tessereau too.
The real Tom Tessereau today. Aaron says grounding is also taught. Do you want to talk about what grounding is?
Well, yes. So that introduction to breath work that I mentioned, there's a gentleman who is a doctor, has a doctorate in psychology that came to the introduction to breath work. He's a sports psychologist, and he works with several sports teams. I won't get too into that, but he did say to me, Tom, you'd like to know, the Cardinals are getting grounded and doing breath work. And I said, really?
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. So he said the
Cardinals,
St. Louis Cardinals, they get out, they take their shoes off, and they get out on the outfield, and they get out and they get grounded. Just check it out. Look up grounding or earthing online. There's all kinds of information about that. So you can be outside, but there's actually apparatus you can use indoors to be grounded while you're actually sleeping, and so you can be connected to the earth. And so he said, yeah, they're taking their shoes off before games and before practice, and he said, and they're doing breath work.
They're
doing
that.
the Wim Hof
Did they just start
method.
this?
Must have been recently. He just told me.
They needed it because
but he told me that in New Year's, around New Year's.
Oh,
he
I
was
love
telling
it.
me that, yeah.
Aren't there like grounding mats?
There are grounding mats
Yes.
that actually, through the conductive grounding wire I strongly recommend it. If there's one thing that we could do simply, and it's not that expensive, is to use earthing, is the brand name, or grounding,
All these methods, again, to help you with what's not serving you right now. I always ask that question, how does that serve you? Right? How are those people serving you? How is hanging on to the trauma from the past serving you? It's not, and we're not promised the next breath, so let's make the most of them.
And how is all this electromagnetic field around everything and all the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, how is that affecting us?
Right.
Earthing and grounding, obviously we've gotten far away from the earth, but now we have this technology. I think God always provides what we need. As we continue to create problems, we continue to find solutions.
Right, and that's what we always want, is not to just lay the negativity out there, but there is an alternative to it, and it's the positive side that is waiting there for us. Marilyn said, interesting about blessed salts for a bath. I have many friends that could benefit. How would they be able to experience that? Thanks for your story. No idea that we had you in our city. I know, that's why I want to introduce you. So they can just come in to your location and get the salt baths, right?
Sure, we'll just have to make some more. Yeah.
Yes, you're going to have a run on salt baths. Watch out, Tom.
Well, and then part of this is empowering people. So no one should be a source. So a lot of the classes we teach are teaching people how to do those kind of things for themselves, and then of course doing it for others. So the beauty of having students is we help them to improve their own lives. It's almost like putting the oxygen mask on yourself first on the plane, and then now they're set, they're good, and then they can go out and help others. So really, that's the goal here, is to learn how to make our own healing salt baths and do all of that for ourselves. This isn't about having to come to the Healing Arts Center. Right.
One of the greatest things that we all can learn, and it's a question that I ask everyone, and I say, just do me a favor and finish this sentence. Who's the most important person in the equation of your life? And they all want to answer, my husband, my kids. They're like, is it God? And I said, well, it would be a connection between you and God, but it's you. He just said it. You've got to take care of yourself first on a plane. Put that on, then take care of your kids or those. If you don't do that, you can't help others.
Indeed.
You can't help yourself and be able to help others.
And in my generation, it would have been considered selfish to take care of oneself. And so thankfully, we're moving beyond that. We know that we're not good until we take care of ourselves.
Well, and I will say, if we look at the different in the sexes, women notoriously think they have to take care of everybody else before they take care of themselves.
Yeah, and that just
then they're
depletes.
exhausted because they never get to themselves.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No, it's not cool. It's not cool. Jana said everyone should be open to this. It's magical. It's healing. The world would be a peaceful place if they treated their souls with love and gratitude. Micah says the Healing Art Center sells the Blessed Salt Baths. There you go, in their bookstore. Be sure to advise those who do the salt baths to shower the salt off afterwards.
Indeed. Yeah.
Scrub.
Just like getting out of the ocean, you wash off.
Yes.
afterwards, yeah.
Diana Tessereau, this was an awesome program this morning. I love you, Tom. Don't go away. We're not done yet. Don't go anywhere. Tom, do you offer sound therapy?
You know, sound therapy is so available now. If you just find it get onto the algorithm of that on Facebook or some other social media, there are so many people doing good sound therapy. And it just makes sense. You know, we are a vibration, we are frequency, we are resonance. So using sound as a form of getting in touch with ourselves and actually doing some healing is very popular right now.
My neighbors just introduced me to earthing and the mats that you can purchase. Very good. I love it. They must have done it before last night's game. Yes.
Did they win last night?
They did.
Okay, good.
They finally
They were
pulled out.
grounded.
Is there a special kind of salt to use for a salt bath, or is it regular Epsom salt okay?
Epsom salt is a different chemical, the sodium chloride magnesium sulfate, so Epsom salts. So no, actually we're talking about sodium chloride, NaCl. So it's anything. It could be table salt, sea salt. Sea salt, of course, is more expensive, but that's what we put in the salt baths is sea salt. But it doesn't have to be that. You can pour Morton salt in there.
Everyone's just saying, I absolutely love this. So I'm going to share a couple of stories. One, you just mentioned the sound bowls, which is something I had never been introduced to. We held a retreat, remember?
Yes.
Don't you want to see the two of us together in a retreat? I think the answer is yes. You want to be
make that
immersed in
happen.
this.
It didn't happen last time.
I know. And how is everything going okay with family?
I've been spending a lot of time with my mother. So my mother's 89 years old. She's in memory care now.
Okay.
So, for example, she's, I don't think she would mind, is that yesterday I was there. She was, she's having early stages of dementia. And so she was just beside herself and confused and all that. And I said, well, Mom, do you remember your yoga training that you could use your breath? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, how about if we do some breathing? So we did some breathing. And then she said, I'm relaxed. She was saying, well, I'm trying to relax. And then we just did, 50 breaths. Which anybody could do. We could do it right now, but
Okay.
And no, it's okay. So, but then that was my beautiful mother who is struggling near end of life, and the breath just brought her back to herself. Just getting in touch with her breath, like you said, and it's mostly
centered here
in our hara, in our power center there.
Well, I knew that he was going through, and again, that's what it's all about, is connecting to those beautiful souls, taking care of his mom at the time. You introduced us, though, to some beautiful people that were part of the retreat, but I do want to try to get he and I holding a retreat together because I just think it would be a really beautiful thing. What happened, though, at that retreat is something I had never experienced before, and I actually made Katie, who you had introduced us to, cry. She was doing the gong therapy, sound bowls. And when after taking care of everybody else, because you've known me for a long time, you know that I'm go, go, go. Are you all taken care of? Okay, great. Now I can take care of me. I know it's opposite from what I'm preaching. I have to learn my own preaching.
She can do it, though. She's good at it.
But I laid down and closed my eyes, and I was looking at everybody smiling, like, look at what we're bringing. I was just so happy with what we were bringing.
I'm so glad.
Ooh, here we go. Closed my eyes, and all of a sudden heard the sound. I have chills. Heard the sound, and then it took my breath away. And I started to tear up, and I almost felt like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like I can breathe. I had never experienced the sound therapy before. I started seeing colors, and then I saw the face of God.
Right.
I'm not lying here.
Right
and
on.
I went, what is happening? I mean, it was taking my breath away. Behind, I could see some type of a form behind him. And my friend Michelle laughs at this, and she goes, were you trying to move God out of the way? And I said, I was, because I believe my father was behind him. I mean this.
Right on.
Both of them saying, be so proud of the walk that you have taken, the walk that we have guided you to, because this is just one facet of all the beautiful things that you're offering. It took my breath away. And I was so overwhelmed with, what am I experiencing? And then I opened my eyes and looking, I was closed my eyes again, still there, right? And I just kept thinking, is everybody else experiencing this? So I went up to her, and as people were saying, thank you so much, I had never experienced this before, I let them all walk away, and I said, can I speak with you for a second? And I said, that was amazing. I had never experienced it. I said, can I tell you what happened? And I told her what I saw, and she was overcome with emotions and started crying and said, can I hug you? She said, you are a beautiful soul.
Oh, yeah.
You are so in touch with energy.
Well, I was going to say is because you choose to be so close to that all the time that it makes sense that all you had to do was just relax into something, and it was right there because you are so close that you invoke that, you call that all the time. That's your way. So of course it just showed up the moment you stopped taking care of everybody, and there was, you saw who was taking care of you, right?
Oh, yes, that transfer. Oh, my gosh. It really did. I went, I see, he's right there. And it was so close. Like, just I could grab him. I was like, come here. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, I mentioned that I was going to talk about biocranial therapy. Do you still do this?
Sure. Oh, my gosh, yes.
I love this. Wait till you hear this, because he hasn't met my husband yet, but he predicted that he was walking back into my life.
Oh.
He saw all this.
Oh, my gosh.
We saw
I
it
don't remember
together.
this.
Do you remember this?
I do now.
Oh, yes. Jim, if you're watching, he knew you were coming back before you knew you were coming back.
Oh, my gosh.
Back. We'll have that when we return. Everyone knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball. Oh my God.
Oh, wait. Okay, biocranial, before we wrap up today. Sure. Biocranial therapy, first of all, what is it?
Well, it's a structural medical modality, so I don't know what you're talking about something that happened with you, but no, because it really opens us up at a core level. So it's based on osteopathy and cranial osteopathy, and then biocranial. I had the pleasure of studying with the founder of biocranial, Dr. Robert Boyd. He was actually listening in Ireland. He's now deceased, but when I was on with you on KMWatch, when we talked about that, he was actually listening. But it's a structural medical modality, and it gets to a really core part of us it's all in our head. We've heard that before, cranial. So there's actually a moving, breathing, beautiful, we could say God process inside of us that biocranial actually releases that. And in doing so, it really is like the master system over everything. My wife Sabrina and I are headed to Scottsdale, Arizona this weekend for the Naturopathic Medicine Institute. It's for the whole of North America. These naturopathic medicine, you mentioned homeopathic a while ago, but naturopathic medicine has really been kind of suppressed by AMA, by American Medical Association, but they are just beautiful health practitioners. So we're going there to talk to them about biocranial and how that fits together. So it really just opens us up physically. It's a physical modality, but then of course everything is connected. So I don't know what happened for you. I don't remember. But emotionally and mentally and energetically, it just opens us up to greater flow.
Well, we were going to talk about it on my radio show, and so he said, Monica, I want you to experience it. So I came in not knowing. I'm very open, though, that I don't like, and this is what I think some people might go wrong. They will Google all these things, and they'll be like, I'm scared. I just said, I trust. I trust you. What are we going to go through? And he said, just relax. He went through and did all of this with me, and as you were doing it, you then asked me afterwards, do you feel any different? Do you feel anything? And I said, yeah, wow. I started, it was kind of like what I experienced with the sound therapy. I started to visually see my path opening up. And then he said, I think you actually asked me about a letter. And he said, does this mean anything to you? And I said, Jim. Mm-hmm. And I could feel that, I believe that Jim was kind of around me. And you said, whoever that is, yes, that person's coming back into your life. And I said, you're kidding me. And sure enough, that's when Jim and I got back together, and here we are. Yes.
I don't remember all of that, and I don't do that kind of work all the time. Again, it's a special connection or a special opportunity, and so we were doing a medical modality, and yet this came out. I'm actually kind of surprised to remember all that, but I'm so glad that was instrumental for you.
Oh, it absolutely was. And I know the two of you have never met, but I want to introduce you to, because I want him to thank you for helping him come back to my life. Okay, as we wrap up, and I told you I could have you on every week. There's so much we could talk about. So massage, we talked about the salt baths, we talked about sound therapy, all of the different classes that are available to you, you can find on their website. Also, I really encourage you to follow their Facebook page. Again, professional wellness clinics offering a wide variety of services. There you go. Swedish massage, chiropractic care, biocraniopathy, lymphatic drainage, breath work, Reiki. We didn't talk about pranic healing. Pranic. Is it pranic?
Yeah,
pranic.
Or either way. Yeah.
Pranic healing. What's beamer therapy?
Oh, so the beamer is a medical modality that it's a pulsed electromagnetic frequency device. It's a medical device, and so it just enhances all the way down to the microcapillaries. It enhances blood flow. So you just get on, you spend 8 minutes or even 20 minutes on this beamer therapy on the beamer mat. So anybody could, again, Google that. It's not a beamer like BMW, but a beamer, and but it's
Does
a
it go
beautiful
zoom,
thing.
zoom?
I use it twice a day. No, I mean, but it's beautiful, beautiful thing. And but pranic healing is the bomb. As far as energy work, energy medicine, Choa Klaksue, I mentioned a while ago, Master Choa. Oh, by the way, good job getting us together on the full moon. And this is a full moon today, and this is considered...
Oh, I didn't know this.
With spiritual practitioners around the world who follow kind of the moon cycle and look at it as an opportunity to do spiritual practice or healing practice, this is the big one of the whole year, today. This is the Wesak. Yes, of course. So this is... Anyway, people could Google that, of course. But... So pranic healing is just a beautiful way. It's the most in-depth, scientifically discovered and foundationally supported, medically, scientifically, but yet all Eastern and Western comes together in pranic healing. So for people with cancer, people with extreme things, pranic healing is the energy work. It's the energy medicine to get into, and there's classes for that. People can learn how to do that for themselves and their family. The whole thing is that we think in Choa Klaksui, Master Choa thought that every home, every family should have a healer. I think every family should have two healers. Healers could be, different interpretations, but the healer needs a healer also.
Yes.
So, but learning how to do something like pranic healing and taking it into your family is just simply amazing for every condition.
I love that you said, because I want you to kind of associate that to the way a mother takes care of a child or a father takes care of a child, right? You're healing, but what do you do for yourself? I mean, you think about everything that you and all of your students do, the way you are healing, your hands-on through massage or energy work or Reiki, just hands-off, just slightly. But there's a lot that you're taking in, and so the question always is, what do you do to then take care of you?
Indeed. There has to be a balance there, of course. So the balance with positivity, with negativity, and so forth. That's the whole Chinese theory of yin yang. That everything has kind of like two sides. But yes, we have to be balanced, or even beyond balance. We think about we need to harmonize all the aspects of our life as best as we can. It's not easy.
Balance is needed, all aspects of balance. Okay, if you're familiar with the show, you know that I end every show with one of these devotionals.
Yay.
So, yay. Oh, I love it. Thankfully, this is not open. Otherwise, it'd be all over that table.
We've spilled enough here today.
100 days to freedom. Okay, so we have 100 days to freedom from anger, from fear and anxiety, shame, depression, and overeating. Which one are you feeling they need to hear today?
Oh my gosh, that's all so beautiful.
Anger, fear and anxiety, shame, depression, overeating.
Well, depression is at an all-time high. And we mentioned about breath work a while ago, is that one of the things after working with breath work with thousands of people over the last 35 years is that after the pandemic, I found that people were not able to breathe. It's almost like we got the breath knocked out of us. Almost everybody had the breath knocked out of us in some kind of sporting event or something. And it's like we haven't quite recovered our breathing yet. So
depression?
Sure.
Okay, we again, Zach's done a great job at cutting up this beautiful video that Tom gave us. We've shown you a couple of those. Let's show you another one, and then when we come back from this one, we'll read 100 Days to Freedom from Depression.
I think most of our students come here knowing that they want to be of service and they want to help others. And yet it becomes actually quite a surprise to some of them how much their hearts and their minds can open to new levels of that being of service and helping others that they hadn't even imagined before coming here.
By helping, being of service to others, our lives will change, your life will change. And that's true because I know my life has changed for the better. And sometimes it's subtle and sometimes it's like, wow, did that really just happen? That awesomeness, that goodness?
You have an opportunity to make a difference in somebody's life and fully appreciate that you just changed the whole course of their existence for the better. And every person that person will meet for the rest of their lives is likely to benefit from that one little push you gave them into the right direction.
Healing Arts Center, again, is what we've been talking about all this last hour. Before we read this, I love how Tom and I were talking at the break, talking about what depression is.
So we know that depression is, for one, it's what we're thinking. That's where the positivity comes in, and we can raise ourselves up from that. But also another way to think of it, which is very scientifically based, there's lots of good science and data around this, is that depression is actually low energy. So it could be the food that we eat, it could be not sleeping well or whatever, but more than anything, because breath is the greatest source of energy that we have, 21,000 times a day, we're supposed to be getting what we need energetically, that depression is also low energy. It's like a depressed area that comes in the weather. You see it on Doppler radar. Depression is actually a lowness, and some of that is we can mitigate that by knowing how to do breath work and doing it regularly. We can raise our energy, raise our frequency, raise our vibration,
Beautiful.
And raise our positivity as well.
And I love this. So I absolutely believe what came out of your mouth. And you said, God picks these every time you read these. And I say that. I get chills because I always go, how did this get picked? Everybody, you just saw, it's not like magic where I said, hey, pick one, any one of the cards.
These are your tarot cards?
Yes, I was pushing orange. No, I wasn't. He picked this, but not really. He picks it. Every time my guests come on, it's so fitting how he chooses the right one. This one's called Serving Others. Day 19 of 100 Days to Freedom from Depression. These are by Stephen Arterburn, by the way. Love him. We need to get him on the show. Daily devotionals. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it. But whoever loses their life for me will find it. What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? This is Matthew 16, verses 24 through 26. So let's break this down. Depression, as Tom just said, can be debilitating. Sadness can linger for days, for weeks, for months, for your entire life. We might lose interest in activities that we used to enjoy. Am I talking to you right now? I hope this really is something that you can receive. Sometimes we experience physical changes, such as a change in sleeping patterns. Regardless of the symptoms and the severity of depression, isolation is a common byproduct, which you mentioned the pandemic. Everybody was isolated. Our tendency is to withdraw into ourselves and our struggle. However, the Bible talks extensively about how Christians should live with an outward focus, in love and in service to others. When we are experiencing depression, it can be hard to follow any of God's directions. But if we act in obedience, even when we don't want to, God will bless us. In today's scripture, Jesus said, "For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it." Well, science supports these words. One study published in Psychosomatic Medicine revealed that giving outweighed receiving. Think about how you feel when you give. The participants who gave to others experienced reduced stress levels and felt good. Helping others ultimately helps you. In fact, an increasing number of studies being published show the positive effects of helping others. Research is not necessarily saying that serving is the cure, but perhaps it is a way to experience finding life all over again. Booker T. Washington said, "Those who are happiest are those who do the most for others." Martin Luther King Jr., life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I just got a chill. Rick Warren says the only way you can serve God is by serving other people. So here's today's prayer. Father, allow me to see outside my circumstances to serve others. Help me to find joy and peace in doing your work while you are working in me. Amen to that.
Amen.
He chose that one. 100% he chose that one. I love you, my friend.
Thank you.
You are welcome back on this show anytime.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
So if there's anything, by the way, that you would love for Tom and I to discuss in a future show, because I do believe he'll be probably coming back, I would love to do what you would like for us to do. That's what I always say. I put it in your hands. This is your show. Every day you tune in because you are ready to receive whatever my guests say, or if there's a topic that you and I do together on those beautiful Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays. By the way, Thursdays are a big, big show because we have, since January, started taking this show to businesses. People have been booking us for mobile Monicas. They said, can you do your show from our business and shine the spotlight on our business? The answer is yes. I love that. And we, of course, when we do that, I ask for you to support them because they're supporting us. You support us. Our sponsors support us. We couldn't do it without all of them. We have our, if you're ready for this, 300th show coming up next week already in such a short period of time. How did that happen? Well, we're on for you every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. We do, by the way, still have the opportunity if somebody wants us to hold the show from their business. We could do that next week, Wednesday, which would be awesome. There's going to be a lot of eyes on that particular show, so a lot of eyes on your business. If you're interested in having us come and do our show from your business, reach out to me at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. I would love that. We had our 200th show just this past December, and we had a lot of fun. We had some music out there, did a lot of wonderful guests that had come back through. We could do things like that, but the way this is happening, our shows are like, oh, suddenly 400 will be there and 500 will be there. It's kind of like our followers. We just celebrated 25,000 followers on Facebook alone, and our programs are all going onto multiple platforms. If there's a platform we're not on, by the way, that you would like for us to be on, let us know. Facebook and YouTube on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then we also add Instagram and X and Rumble. And then we have our audio podcast, and that this Thursday is Patrick Murphy, wonderful book that he just released about the World's Fair, the 1904 World's Fair. So if you haven't seen that, we turn that into our audio show on Thursday. Again, thank you, Tom.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so
proud of
happy
you.
for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. And to you, we're going to end it the way we end every show, and it really is going to be fitting today. Go out. Be anything you want to be in this world. But before you're anything, be kind. God bless you all.
Yay.